Boom.
Oh, wow. It's just so exciting.
Welcome to the Sunday night special edition.
This is super weird. We keep changing the dates on people. Everybody's
not that often.
It's exciting. This is the EriDan Film Festival and a Sunday night because Dan's on travel.
Yes, I'll be moving across the country. Not moving, but I'll be flying across the country.
Nice.
The show should happen tomorrow.
But we're glad that we could still do a show this week, episode 91.
9 to go.
As we inch closer and closer to the 100th episode. Tonight, we're going to talk Power Rangers with our friends. And you can be our friend. If you've never joined us before, this is a great opportunity for you to hop on and say hi and talk about a movie. Or next week, double feature, man. This is another big week where we're going to be choosing a double feature. February went by like that. Dan, how do they join us if they'd like?
If they'd like to join us, all they have to do is go to eridanlive.com.
Pretty exciting. Pretty easy.
And
then you join us and we'll talk. And if you've not seen the movie before, that's okay. Because we're going to talk about other things, So join us, or of course you can hang out in the chat, YouTube, Facebook. We'll get your messages. We'll respond. We'll do our best to make you feel part of the party, even if you don't want to join us through the videos.
It is an odd night because it's Sunday night.
People
have to get up for work tomorrow, but then again, they have to do it on Monday night too.
And it's only, even on the East Coast, it's only 8 o'clock. If you're going to bed already, sorry, we'll get to that laugh in a second. Most people probably not going to bed in time unless you're a Power Rangers fan, and then it's already an hour past your bedtime. No, I'm kidding. We're going to talk Power Rangers, the movie, not the show, not the, it's going to be magical. And let's bring in some magical people, shall we? We've got a whole crew coming from Ohio. And if I could get myself organized here, we can bring in Brittany.
One ring to rule the moon. One ring.
It's Brittany.
And Brittany and Richard. This is a rare appearance from Richard. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm doing good. It's nice to actually join a show this time.
And you've got your hands full.
Yes, very much so.
And they're in Ohio, Eric?
Yeah, no. That was
Did
wrong.
I say Ohio?
Yeah.
But you called him Corey, so
I was thinking of Corey. I'm all confused.
Corey's not in Ohio either.
No, he's not.
Yes, his name's Cody.
What am I thinking? Who was I thinking about Ohio? I have no idea. We know
You're all in Pennsylvania.
Erie, is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking Erie. I was thinking 4-letter word, begins with a vowel, ends with a vowel.
Near water.
There was an I in there.
Right.
Cody is here from the Steelers by the Lake podcast, all dressed in gear.
Yeah, we recorded
today.
We recorded it today.
You do look like you're starting to live in a shop that sells Pittsburgh memorabilia.
Yeah, that's okay.
Surrounded by the black and gold.
I do have one sports thing I want to mention tonight. Just remind me to mention it later.
Okay.
Sports what?
I have one sports thing I want to talk about that's not Steelers related, but it is sports related that Eric will be like,
I love the sports. I'm all
is that Tim Allen? And
no. It's terrible. All right. Speaking of, no, I'm sorry. Did I? Which button? Wait, where's the button? Let's bring in Dave.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Dave is here.
Corey from Ohio. Hello.
All the way from Ohio.
First time caller.
Now, and then we've got, it says it's the whole Riders, so I'm going to push the button for the Riders. Representing the Riders from Ohio. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stacy.
Yeah.
Is that laugh in the intro? Is that Tom Snyder? It sounds a little like ha 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 ha.
You guessed it.
Early
That's
on.
exactly what that is. Snyder, Tom Snyder. You see the reference?
Yeah. That was my uncle. Okay,
Tom Snyder?
different Tom Snyder, but yeah.
He didn't have the eyebrows that the famous Tom Snyder had.
No, he had no hair.
And was never impersonated by Dan Aykroyd. Probably,
Right.
as far as we know.
He was not.
Allegedly.
Yes.
So yeah, so here we go. I think we've got everybody here who's going to be here, unless anybody else, of course. First time, don't be shy. But we're going to talk tonight about.
I thought you'd be overwhelmed with Power Rangers fanboys.
It could come. It's there's so many memes. If you go to the Facebook page on the EriDan Facebook page, there's a lot of Power Rangers memes out there. So somebody's making those. Some Power Ranger fan is all about those.
And not only that, the other thing to mention is EriDan swag 15% off. Starting March 1st.
Wow, celebrity endorsements and everything.
I know,
like
right? Taylor Swift wants you to know. The Swifties.
And there's new merchandise like fanny packs. We're
There
calling
is. You can get the
EriDan
packs or the
EriDan fanny.
Still bitter.
There's a new tie-dye shirt. It's all very exciting.
So you can have EriDan on your crotch.
Yes.
Sure.
No, you have to turn it around and wear it on your fanny. Hello.
Then you can't sit down without crushing everything.
That's fair.
Oh,
When we do summer camps, our first aid kits come in fanny packs for all the counselors, and we do this thing where we wear them on our hips.
Ooh.
So not on the butt. Yep, on the hip.
That's a stylish look.
It is.
A moment on the lips, forever on the hips.
Well, and also, if you buy more than one, you can wear them like holsters.
Yeah.
That whole Western theme that you have going for the riders.
I'm just saying, right? And then you quickly grab multiple cell phones out of each one of your fanny packs. I don't think about it. The possibilities are endless. Speaking of endless, I'm sorry. Let's talk about not the Power Rangers. Sorry, Power Rangers. It's Morphin' Time. Starring a bunch of people you probably have never heard of before, outside of Bryan Cranston, Elizabeth Banks, and Bill Hader, and
Becky G.
Becky G.
And Naomi Scott from.
A budget of $105 million, worldwide gross of $142 million. The critics coming in a little harsh at 50, and the audience landing around 65.
Wow.
So Cody, I know we're very excited about sharing this movie with the group. When Dave first logged in, his username was why. Made me laugh. So, Cody, can you answer the question? Why do you have a love for this movie? Why was this your movie choice for the week?
Well, I think for obvious reasons, for the simple fact that it's a little bit of nostalgia for me, bringing up childhood. My sister and I grew up on Power Rangers, and every Saturday morning we'd get up and watch the new episode or whatever. And we went through all the series. Every single year they were coming out with a different version of Power Rangers. So Power Rangers Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, Wild Force, all this Lost in Space. And this is a remake of the original Power Rangers, which were called the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I could go into a little bit more detail, but I'm not going to because I don't even know all the detail. But it's based on a Japanese show called something Sentai, and I don't even know what it is. But I have another friend who's super into it and collects all the stuff for it and everything. But no, I thought this movie, when I watched it, obviously had meaning to me just with the sentimental fact. But I thought it was actually fairly well done, minus a few things. For the simple, the jokes were good, the humor was great. There was even a little bit of a tearjerker moment in there.
I have some questions, but we'll get to.
I'll answer them. Let's go.
Well, okay. So, this is my first question. So, do you feel, as a fan, I was never a fan of the Power Rangers. I was probably a little older than the demographic when those really hit the U.S.
Yeah.
So I missed all of that, right? But I could tell it was obvious that there was a lot of fan service in this. And to me, I felt that was probably most of the issues I had with the movie were things where it was trying to be true to the source material, right? If they were making this all new, I feel like there was a lot of stuff that they could.
You mean when the theme song came in?
Go, go,
There was a
Go,
Power
Power
Rangers.
Rangers.
When he's running backwards.
And I'm not sure I agree with the humor part. Like there was a moment or two that I thought was funny.
Oh, there were a couple good ones.
Straight out the gate, they start with milking a bull, right? That's the first.
That was
The first
hysterical.
joke, yeah.
From the movie was like, oh, here we go.
He only has one udder. And why does he like me so much?
That was a funny
utterly
joke.
ridiculous.
That was funny.
Why is it? I think right there's your thing. Like you can watch the first 3 minutes, and it's like, well, if you love that, then you're in. And if you're like, no, then you're.
But I think you watch the first 3 minutes. If you watch the first 3 minutes and like that, turn this off and go see the Jackass movie because this is not the movie for you.
Wow, and you know, there's this.
Capital letters. Now,
It's not for everyone.
I don't think this movie sucked. Now, here's my take on it. First, I was like, it's like a new telling of The Breakfast Club because they're all in detention. You've got the jock, you've got the nerd, you got the pretty girl who's popular.
You got the stereotypes.
What's
Just
that?
a little.
This movie was there was no shyness on stereotypes.
Yes.
For this movie.
And when he slapped the guy, I was like, that was weird until they did they had the callback later, which I thought, okay, I agree with Cody. There was some humor in it.
That was funny. That I did think was fun.
And I was okay with the movie until about the last 15 minutes. And I was like, what the hell just happened? Then it seemed like an anime gone wrong. Like I was expecting it to be badly dubbed from that point on.
Well,
Elizabeth Banks was one of the problems with this movie.
Oh, she was, and that was really sad.
yes.
She was the biggest problem with this.
That's
movie.
And I liked her in other
why-
roles. But in this role, she was not good.
That's why she ended up just hosting Press Your Luck for 3 years. It's because of this movie.
There were moments where I thought she did a really good job of like playing Rita Repulsa, which is she's a repulsive individual. But then there were moments where I was like, there's more moments where I was like, what are you doing?
She just was the wrong actress for it. Like her
Yeah.
her other characters that like I feel like she's well known for are very like comical or very like they're just they're very different.
Well, it was
than, like, a
comical.
villain.
We both Margaret and I spontaneously and independently. There was no crosstalk. We both cracked up laughing when she yelled out, "Make my monster grow!"
And that is 100% a callback to the TV series.
See, that's
the only reason that's in there.
But that's a problem, right? That like if you're not, and I get that. I do feel, and trust me, I am all about being tied to movies from my youth and tied to properties. Like I'm the last person to question anybody's love of a property based on prior IP or anything like that. I totally get. And I could feel that. I could feel like that the majority of love for this has to come from a love of the Power Rangers.
I would say a majority, but Billy's character just cracked me up the whole movie. From when he blows up the wall and he's like, maybe I used too much to.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I forgot to mention this. I don't even know if everyone saw the end credit scene. There was an end credit scene.
Yeah, they left room for a sequel.
Yeah, which they're not doing.
No, I did look up the information that originally, the rumor is that they wrote this as a 6-movie story arc.
Yep.
And
I was pumped.
after the unfortunate, return of the franchise.
Yeah, when you make a movie for 105 million and your global gross is 145, that's definitely considered a failure in Hollywood's eyes.
Yeah. And so in fact, soon afterwards, Paramount sold the property to Hasbro.
And Hasbro's redoing it again.
Yes, they're talking about doing a movie, but it'll have nothing to do with this one. All of the actors they're not associated with it, whatever. In fact, the other one might be a time travel. Did I read that properly? That the other one might be a time travel one, which calls them to go back to 1995 and be more of a sequel from that Power Rangers movie that was made in 1995.
The Ivan Ooze one?
Yes.
Oh,
That was a good one. I liked Ivan Ooze.
Don't say that because that'll be my next one. I'm not going to do it.
But I did, I just felt like there was a lot, well, here's the funny thing is like the characters, I do agree. The one character, the Blue Ranger, great, right? Like that was an interesting.
It was the most interesting.
And well done. Everybody else was such an over-the-top stereotype that they're like, well, we don't have to even tell you too much, because once we introduce you to what the stereotype is, you'll understand, right? Here's the jock that's misunderstood, but we're not going to really worry about why he's misunderstood, right? Just that, because he didn't really have a great reason for why he was being a jerk and stealing the cow and got in trouble with his father or whatever, like that kind of stuff. Just troubled, right?
It's because he broke up with Pam.
Clearly, that was the issue.
Dad, yes.
And so, there was issues, right? There was just issues everywhere. But here's the funny thing is, while I didn't like the characters specifically, I thought they did a decent job between the relationships of the characters.
Oh yeah.
To me, that part did land okay. I'm like, all right, this part, I kind of do get that. I don't like the individual characters, but I like the interaction between them. I thought that part was one of the only parts, but I like that part of the way the story was written.
Fair.
I was cracking myself up because I was like meta moving, like we were talking like Bill Hader, Bryan Cranston, and then you had a character named Billy Cranston. And then the Red Ranger, Jason Scott, plays a character named Billy in Stranger Things. And then Jason Scott and the actress who plays the Pink Ranger is Naomi Scott. Like, that's like the way I was like, oh, look at all these funny name connections.
There were a lot of things lying around.
Like, it was just a bunch of weird name stuff.
And did anybody else think that Bill Hader sounded just like Patton Oswalt when he was doing that character?
Yeah, actually, me and Brittany were talking about that, and I was like, I think that's Bill Hader. And I was like, maybe it's Patton Oswalt. I was like, no, I think it's Bill Hader. And
it sounded like Bill Hader doing a Patton Oswalt. It really did.
What's weird is if you look at Google, when it says the cast, it says Bill Hader is Zordon and Bryan Cranston is Zordon. It doesn't say that he's Alpha.
Yeah, they definitely got the casting wrong.
They got something wrong on there. And the cool thing, I guess this is one of my freaky facts, is that Bryan Cranston in 1993 voiced the monsters Twin Man and Snizzard in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from 1993.
Wow.
And that's like that's even before he was on Seinfeld, when he was Dr. Tim Watley, the dentist.
That's when I worked at Walmart, and Power Rangers were huge, and kids were into them really big that year, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've got another weird thing that I want to put out there, but I'm afraid that we could have a copyright issue. I don't think we get kicked off.
Okay.
But I just want to play this.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Because I thought this was weird, and I want to see if anybody else.
It's Dan in a Power Ranger suit. Get ready.
No.
It's video of you and Dan in Power Rangers from when you were in middle school.
No power.
Thankfully, our video in our morph suits was pulled off the. It was made private on YouTube, so we can't access it anymore.
Oh, I'm gonna get it.
Now, of course, this is
before the show's over.
This one is Saban's Power Rangers.
Yes, this is Saban's.
All right, and here's what I would like to share.
Sounds like a grocery store, actually. I'm gonna head down to Saban's to pick up some.
Just listen to the background for 1 second. You ready? Just listen to the background music. Hopefully, you can all hear this.
No,
listen.
No audio. We have no audio.
Hold on. You have no audio at all?
Oh, no, it's there.
No, we're getting some.
Okay, listen.
A series of grisly crime scenes has this.
We missed it because you were talking.
I heard it though.
There's just a little bit of listen. Do you hear the do 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 do?
A little synth.
It's the theme to Stranger Things.
Yep.
Oh.
How freaky is that? Stranger Things didn't exist yet.
That's strange.
Okay, that's all.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is
I was
interesting.
doing that.
You can hear it again later on.
Okay.
But it's like.
So
That's
we got this movie from the CCBC library.
But only the bonus material.
So we did not watch it.
Oh, wow. So you weren't able to get
No.
Oh.
This is the only copy I could find anywhere, and it was incomplete. And, I didn't do my job well enough when I checked it in from the van, or I would have noticed that it was missing a disc.
So busted.
Yeah, I was so busted.
So now when you return it, are you gonna be responsible?
No.
Okay.
No, I'll just call Terry at CCBC and tell her.
They'll just assume she stole the movie. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because why? Who? I mean, talk about a movie they shouldn't let out because people steal it. So let's talk about the suits a little bit. I mean, come on, you can't say they weren't Iron Man inspired,
right?
Yeah.
Like
I did not care for them. Actually, I really didn't enjoy the suits.
I did.
Originals at all.
I'll be honest.
They
One of the issues I will say, one of the issues I had after it's a Power Rangers movie that you have to watch an hour and 40 minutes before you actually get to see any Power Rangers.
Well, it was supposed to be a 6-movie thing. You were supposed to get a lot more of that in the next one.
Yeah, if Peter Jackson had directed it, it would have been different.
That's true. I mean, that's what they said about Solo as well. just wait till the next movie.
Suffer through this movie, and we'll give you something good next time.
Well, you know how there's TV shows where people say you just have to make it through the first 3 or 4 episodes, then it really starts cooking.
Just get through the first 2 or 3 of these movies, and then you're really gonna see. I mean, and it did. So there was a lot of coincidence in this movie. Like, there's just a lot of like, oh, well, it happens to be that they're all together at the same place. It happens to be that one of the main.
No, it's not coincidence. It's the medallions pulling them together.
But the fact that his father was the one who found the body of Repulsa, is that it?
Rita
Repulsa.
Because she's repulsive. And Goldar, because he's made of gold.
Goldar
I don't think he was in the regular one.
He was a monkey with
Yeah.
gold armor.
Now, my question too was, okay, they've got this huge gold mine. She pulled it all out. They can stop mining. All the gold's there now. Like they got it all.
Oh yeah, the town is doing fine now.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing the voice of Mike Myers as Gold member.
Where's your Faja?
Gold. I love gold.
I love gold.
How's your Faja?
It's possible.
I did very much appreciate the cameo at the end with JDF, Jason David Frank, and whatever her face is that played the Pink Ranger. At the end of it, if you didn't watch the original, you didn't catch it. But in the town, they're standing there looking up at everything that's going on. And Jason David Frank was the original. He was Tommy Oliver, so he was the Green Ranger and then the White Ranger. Like he was green because he was. Oh, that was the other thing. Rita was a Green Ranger in this movie, where in the other movie or in the original series, Rita made the Green Ranger and he was bad.
Oh.
And then he was kind of went to infiltrate the Power Rangers, and then they turned him good and he became the White Ranger.
Yeah, so Tommy Oliver was going to be a huge deal moving forward. I'm so sad.
Also, the other thing that makes no sense is, okay, 65 million years ago that they were there. And I know at some point it has to happen where they get found, but in 65 million years, nobody found any of this stuff.
Well, come on. That crystal that Goldar dug up looked like it was buried a whole 40, 50 feet deep.
At least. And it looked like Superman's crystals. It looked like his... the Torch of Solitude, where he threw the green.
I expected the crystals to be near the core of the earth. There's he just digs down to about a subcellar, and there it is.
Yeah, it's in the basement of Krispy Kreme. I mean, that was the weirdest part.
Oh man,
you're sad now, Stacy, aren't you?
we tried. We tried.
This way you can abstain from the voting, though.
Yeah, exactly. We I put the DVD in, and he put it in, and I'm like, what is this? Did I get episodes or something? I didn't know what it was. We tried, and then we went,
well, that's not. So Katie and Brittany, so when this movie was out, did you go to a Krispy Kreme and partake of the limited?
Who did you? Who?
Katie. He said, yeah, Katie.
Katie.
Cody,
change your name to Katie.
Corey.
Cody.
Yeah, you called him Katie.
Corey, sorry. Wow.
And so Eric is starting to lose his mind.
I'm gonna say it was COVID.
No, I didn't know those were a thing, and I'm actually kind of bummed I didn't, because that would have been fun.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Did the Screen Rant guy, the guy that does the pitch meetings on Screen Rant, where he's like super easy, barely an inconvenience. That guy, did he do one for this?
That's a great question.
Because he did, he did a lot of the movies we've watched, and those are very funny.
But thinking of this would be the perfect tie-in for Krispy Kreme. That would have been an interesting pitch.
Oh yeah, that would have been a very interesting meeting. I'm sure they. It definitely was.
It's going to drive your sales through the roof.
A big promotional tie-in between the two.
Eric, when you get a second, check your messenger.
Okay, do that. Let me. I got too many things up. Well, I will distract you all. We won't have to watch all of this, but since they questioned it, we can check out this real quick.
There it is.
Yeah.
Power Rangers reboot. Oh, that's a recognizable brand. I'm listening. Yeah, so I figure we could go a bit darker, a bit more serious with it. Ah, interesting. Except for Rita Repulsa and Alpha 5, who will seem like over-the-top cartoon characters. Okay, is that going to mix well with the overall tone? Nope. So anyway, the movie starts with Zordon, right? And he's crash-landed on Earth, and he is not in good shape. Oh, boy. And I thought we could get Bryan Cranston, get him naked, covered in blue makeup. Oh, I love that idea. Right? Yeah, that's going to be great. While we're at it, we should see if he wants to be in the movie. Yeah. So what else happens? Zordon dies, and this evil Power Ranger, Rita Repulsa, falls into the ocean. A very exciting intro. Yeah, so then we're going to meet this guy, Jason, who lives in a town called Angel Grove 65 million years later. Oh, just the biggest time jump. Yeah, and Jason and his friend, they're pulling a prank. They're bringing a bull into a school. Okay. And his friend thought it was a cow, so he milked it, but it was a bull, so you know what that means. Is that really the note you want to start this movie on? Somebody milking a bull? Yeah. Okay, great. Me too. Okay, good. So anyway, then Jason crashes his car and gets sent to detention and placed on house arrest with a curfew and an ankle bracelet. Yeah, nice piece of jewelry, not too bad. No, like a police bracelet. And Jason's dad is pissed because he was a football star. Sure. So he goes to detention and he meets these other students, Billy and Kimberly. And what's their deal? Well, Billy's on the spectrum and he keeps getting bullied about it. And Kimberly also seems like she's being bullied, but she's not. Well, these girls are being mean to her, but later we're going to find out it's because Kim shared some explicit photos of her friend with people. Oh my God. Yeah. That feels like that's probably a felony, right? Yeah, she might be a felon. Jeez. But now she's going to be a Power Ranger, so that's fun. Okay. So anyway, then Billy hacks Jason's ankle bracelet, so now he's free to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, for the rest of the movie. And his parents aren't going to wonder why he's not at home for his house arrest. They will not. Huh? So then Jason and Billy go to this mine, and they run into 3 other teenagers that just happen to be there at the same time. Oh, teenagers do love hanging out near mines. They sure do, sir. So they all find these special coins and get superpowers. It feels a lot like that movie Chronicle, but with merchandising opportunities. Oh, I like the sound of that. And then as they're escaping from mine security, the van they're in gets hit by a train. Oh, are they okay? Yeah, they all just wake up at home. They're all good. How did they each get home? Unclear. Well, okay then. So they all start discovering their superpowers, like super strength and jumping and whatnot. Wow. So they go back to the mine and they see this alien ship that's been there for millions of years. Okay. So they meet Alpha 5 as well as Zordon, who's had his essence uploaded to the ship. And how is he able to communicate with them? Well, we're going to say that the ship has English loaded onto its matrix. Ow. Oh, don't worry about it. So then Jason's father fishes Rita Repulsa out of the ocean and she just straight up starts killing people. And so is Rita also going to find a ship and learn to speak English through its matrix? No, she just speaks English right away. If we specifically give a reason as to why Zordon's able to speak English, doesn't that kind of shine a light on the fact that there's no reason for Rita? Okay, well, maybe whenever she's not on screen, she's using that Duolingo app. That works for me. So anyway, Zordon teenagers, they need to morph into their Power Ranger armor, but for some reason they can't do that. Oh, bummer. So they need to train by, starting a tiny fight club amongst themselves. Nice. Yeah, and they only have 11 days to get ready before Rita starts her evil plan. So what is her plan exactly? Well, she wants to find this thing called the Zeo crystal and use it to destroy life on Earth. Very rude. For sure. And so then the Power Rangers start becoming friends. They learn a bunch of stuff about each other around a fire. Oh, like what? Like Zach the Black Ranger has a sick mom, and Trini's parents don't approve of her orientation, and Billy's dad is dead, and Kimberly's probably committed a felony. No, she's going to keep that one to herself and just tell Jason about it later. It might be a good move. Anyway, so then Billy's going to figure out that the Zeo crystal is at this random building in town at Krispy Kreme. What? The crystal, it's at a Krispy Kreme. It's not, no, why? And so then all the characters can say Krispy Kreme a bunch of times. Rita Repulsa can eat a donut. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, why are you doing this? Well, see, my dad's on the board of directors at Krispy Kreme, and I would just love if I could get him to say that he loves me just once. Oh, very sad, sir. So then Rita's going to manage to ambush the Rangers, and she's going to kill Billy. Oh, no. Yeah, but it turns out Zordon had the power to bring somebody back to life just once for some reason, so he uses that power on Billy instead of himself. Oh, a very thoughtful 65-million-year-old spaceship consciousness. And so then the Power Rangers learn the true meaning of friendship or something like that, and now they can morph into their armor. Yeah, so we're going to see some Power Ranger action, huh? Where are we in terms of runtime? We're about 90 minutes into the movie. Oh, my God. And meanwhile, Rita's making this monster Goldar out of gold. She's going to be like, yes, make my monster grow. Oh, making your monster grow is tight. No. I mean, it's like you don't hear yourself sometimes. That didn't sound good at all. That didn't sound good. Anyway, so Rita's using this monster to straight up destroy the town as she's looking for the crystal. The Krispy Kreme. Sure. And the Power Rangers, they're going to be piloting these big Zord machines that they have. Very big machines. Yeah, there's going to be a ton of Bumblebee. Bumblebee. Dad get into a big car crash and go and save them. Okay, so do all of Jason's big plot moments involve devastating car crashes? Oh, yeah, pretty much. You don't want to mix that up maybe a little? I don't. No. Well, okay then. And also those girls that were mean to Kimberly, their car's going to get wrecked. So she's going to be like, that's what you get. I thought Kimberly was the one who shared the explicit photos. Yeah, but they were mean to her about having done that. Okay. Anyway, so eventually Rita's going to push all the Rangers into this big fiery pit in the ground. Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to get out of a pit. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, all their Zords get combined into Megazord. How'd they know how to do that? Unclear, just kind of happened in the pit. Oh, pits are always full of mysteries. So then they slap Rita into space and she freezes because it's cold up there. They slap her into space. They slap her into space. That's how this movie ends. They slap the bad guy into space. All right. I mean, okay. And so that's about it. What do you think? Well, I mean, it's a reboot of a very well-known brand. I don't see how it can't be a big success. And if it's not, you know what we can do? What? Reboot it. Ah.
Replacing the original.
Hi, Ryan here. Thanks for watching that pitch meeting. Hope you liked it. I said that all.
Eric, I sent you the one for Brittany and I.
Oh, stop.
What was that?
I sent you. I emailed you the
video
for
link.
Brittany and I.
Katie Crowe. Cody, I like your name change. That's great.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that.
No problem. No problem.
I did. One of the things I did appreciate about the movie was them having Billy be autistic. I thought that was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and allowing like him to have a superpower. I don't like our nephew has Asperger's, so that was really cool to see. And he was a lot of the comic relief, so that part was kind of fun for us to watch.
Oh, he was the best character.
Interesting of the characters,
hands down. When he died, oh man, that got me. And then I found out like the first time I watched
he was this movie's version of Toomer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clear. I mean, when they carried him all the way back, I'm like, all right, he's not dead.
Of course.
Right?
I knew when he died, he wasn't dead, or he was coming back.
Oh, my.
And that, to me, was part of the problem with it, is I didn't really feel emotion there because it was so obvious he was coming back.
Right.
And even the relationships between the characters to me felt very much set up by a writer going, okay, we'll have A do B and that'll make them feel C. Then we'll have E do F and that'll make them feel G. It was very paint by numbers script writing.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like they had a lot. Again, they had a lot of fans. They were clearly like, okay, let's make a giant wish list of everything we could try to include. That people who are fans of the show would expect to see and want to see, done 2017 style, with that kind of technology behind it, things they couldn't have done in 95, things they obviously couldn't have done on the show, So
the technology was good. The effects were good. I did not feel like we were cheated.
I did like the car crash. The cinematography during the car crash. Actually,
yeah, the first one. Yeah.
You just kept going around and around.
The funny thing is, I mean, as much as we've talked about it, I will say I didn't hate it.
It was, and that's what I told you. I like, as bad as the movie was, it was, huh? What?
As bad as the movie was. This is the movie you recommend us watch.
Let me clarify. As bad as the movie was in the sense of like I understand everyone's issue with the movie. I really do. And as bad as those things are, and no matter how much my love for it, in my opinion, the movie was still enjoyable.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
there were enough things that happened and whatever that it wasn't like. I think it'd be hard to fall asleep during this movie, even if you weren't interested. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. Who knows?
What he's saying is, as bad as the movie was, it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Katie knowledge. Katie logic right here.
No brain.
You can show that video I sent you, by the way. You just can't play the sound.
I don't. I never got anything from you.
What do you mean you never?
Where did you?
Wait. Maybe I did. Can it? Will this work? I just got to hold on. Let me try to.
Just make sure it's muted, otherwise you'll get copyright. Because
we don't need that. Oh my! What is this? What is happening here?
Just watch. You got to start it from the beginning, and then you can play it for everyone.
You know, I think my son was a Power Ranger in like 4th grade. Now that I think about it,
I was a Power Ranger in 4th grade.
Not for Halloween. He was a Power Ranger.
No, yeah, exactly.
Is this? I have no idea what I'm about to share. We have no audio, so what is going on here?
It's the Harlem Shake.
It's the Harlem Shake. This is.
But you'll see Brittany. You'll see Brittany now, and you'll know which ones we are.
Oh no.
Cody, who's on the unicycle?
Luke.
That's what I thought. He just looked different.
All right. We are partying while somebody's cleaning up in the background.
Is that not it?
Huh?
That might not be it.
No, I don't think that's it.
Hang on. I didn't screen it. Hang on.
All right.
This one.
I have no idea what's going on here. Yeah, nope. That's primarily just it's all that woman.
You're being pranked, Eric.
Whatever she's doing. Well,
hang on.
Katie
It's
loves
this
the
one.
prank.
It's this one.
You know those people from Ohio. Katie,
That's what's
Ohio's are just such practical jokers.
Katie from Ohio is such a prankster.
Hang on. I need to.
It's because you really didn't need to see it. That's why
It's been a long week.
Okay, I found it.
And it's been less time than a normal week because we only went from Monday to Sunday instead of Monday to Monday.
Maybe that's my issue. Is I need my Monday prep. I don't know what I need.
We have to watch the double feature for next time.
I sent it to you. You need to start at 2 minutes in.
Oh goodness. Okay, hold on.
This is awful.
I feel like for next week, should we like whoever gets to pick their 2? You should pick 2 Oscar-nominated movies.
Oh please. You can't say that.
Yes, that's it.
Please.
Oh, I can't get picked.
They can be nominated for really bad things, nominated for, makeup design.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, why don't we rate and then hopefully I'm not getting anything from Cody yet.
Really?
So why don't we rate and then we'll take a look at what Cody had to send after. Does that sound good?
Perfect.
Let's do some rating. So as you know, we rate movies from 1 to 100, not 0. Sorry. 1 to 100. And I'll stop talking now because I have no brain. So I'm going to worry about the math, and Dan is going to tell everybody what to do.
Yes, we start right here with this guy, Katie Crowe, 90.
Katie.
I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I love this movie. I thought Billy made this movie phenomenal. I thought the relationships as much as you could see what was happening and knew what was going to happen beforehand, like the Red Ranger and the Pink Ranger getting together. Like even if you didn't know the original storyline, like I don't know. I understand everyone's issues with it, but I love this movie. I think there are parts of it that are just really funny, classic humor. I enjoyed the joke at the beginning. I thought it was really funny, but I'm going to give it a 94.
Nice. Hey, I said, I respect that because I gave Sergeant Pepper 93, so I am in no situation to judge people and their love for their movies. So.
And Cody, as they say, that is strong like a bull.
Si, senor.
And we'll go right now to the relatives. Live from Ohio.
Skip us for a minute.
Oh. All right. Then we'll go to a guy that's been to Ohio. He's been to the Boardman Mall at least once.
Okay. I disagree with Adam. I didn't think it sucked. I just thought it was utterly generic. It was superhero movie 101 kind of thing. It was the Goonies meets Shazam. And only unlike Shazam, which was a fairly generic plot in many ways, in Shazam they made you care about the characters. I never cared about these characters. I don't know why it didn't. It worked for some people and not for me, but I didn't. I didn't hate it. It just was. It was one of the very few times in all the films we've watched here where I just found myself almost irresistibly drawn to my phone while the movie was on because it was just boring me. So if you were a Power Rangers kid and it was in your background, I can understand why there's probably things in here that you go, oh yeah. So I understand that, but that wasn't me. So I can only view it as a standalone movie. And for that, it was blah. So it was a 65.
All right. Richard, are you guys ready?
Go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm going first.
It's like, don't make me go. No, I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to make him go first so he can go back and get the baby, but it's fine. It was good. It wasn't great. I definitely think, like they said in that little screen rant thing, they made it a little bit darker, but then also there was parts of it that made like zero sense at all. But kind of like Cody said, that nostalgia of this is what we grew up watching. And so there was like a couple throwbacks to it that kind of made it a little bit more enjoyable than if they had just kind of started from scratch. But I didn't like Alpha. I didn't like him at all compared to the original. Like it was just that it was wrong to not have that. And I don't know.
He was short round.
Yeah. It was weird. I'm gonna say an 82.
All right.
Okay, my turn. I feel like I'm going to talk a little bit long, so I apologize ahead of time. I'm with Cody. I love this movie, and for a multitude of reasons. Billy, absolutely the best character in the movie. My nephew, personally, like he has Asperger's, and the actor that portrayed Billy, like played that so well. It is exactly what it's like to have a conversation with my nephew, and just how he goes off on a complete tangent about nothing at all, and you can barely understand what he's talking about. Like it's such a beautiful moment, to me. I grew up with the Power Rangers. Like the Power Rangers were one of the most amazing things in my childhood. So there's a ton of nostalgia in that. And then, I would just like to add to a point, like I think it's funny, all the like things that you guys kind of, nitpick at and like things that you don't like about the movie. Because everything that you don't like about this movie is aimed specifically at young adults. Like if you've ever read Twilight, which I doubt any of you have, it's a book made specifically for young adults. And this movie was written for young adults. So the super like high stressed of the high school teenage angst, the stereotypes, those types of things, like those are things that teenagers and young adults can really, really relate with. And so like if the target audience was, anyone in like early teens, like 12 to 18 years old, then it was done perfectly, because anybody in that age range would be able to relate with any of these characters. So like older people, no offense, adults with big adult smart brains, they don't get the teenage angst and they're not entertained by it. But like, to me, like I'm still close to that age somewhat. So like, I was like, I remember what that was like even like the first thing I said in the movie was like, oh, the teenage angst, I can feel it, like, cause I experienced those things. So I don't know. I love this movie. It's dark and edgy, so, like comparative to like the old show. And again, it's that young adult kind of thing, because they're bringing a darker edge to something that was reflected once, within childhood. So I don't know. That's my opinion on it. I give this movie a 90. I love it.
All righty. Adam gives it a day. What is that? Oh, did I click on the wrong thing?
That's yeah.
My 12-year-olds watched it with him, and he said they didn't like it, and that's a hard hill to climb. Now, I guess it's my turn because the writers didn't watch it. My mom wasn't able to watch it completely, so she's not going to give it a score. I watched it and started at the beginning. I liked it. Like I said, and I have no Power Ranger history because I'm old. And as is my mom. She's older than me, which is weird. Or normal. I really liked the movie at the beginning. I thought it was going a great place. And then I felt like around pretty much once they played the song, the Go-Go Power Rangers song, from that point on, it really sucked to me. And the way it ended, she slapped her into space. But realizing they were trying to make a franchise out of it makes sense. From a movie aspect, it was made well. And I look at that. I think the writing was okay. There were a lot of jokes. I did not hate it. So I'm not going to trash. I'm not going to, give it a 12 or anything. I think it's a 78.
Nice.
And that leaves us with Eric as the final score until Adam puts his score in.
That's true. We need Adam's score. Since he did watch it. At the end of the day, I am all for the understanding of properties from your childhood. And I thought of a wonderful example of something I adored from when I was a child that they made a movie from in more recent times. That probably I'm the only person on the planet that enjoyed this movie. There was a Jim Belushi movie called Underdog that was taken from the Underdog cartoon.
I have it on the TiVo and haven't watched it yet.
Reagan loves it.
You have a TiVo?
It's not good, but I have an affection for the source material.
You say infection?
I have an infection. Sometimes I speak okay, and then to end a phrase I use the wrong strawberry. Okay. Just one of those weeks. So I get it. I kind of feel left out because I don't get this affection for this movie. But I didn't think it was terrible. This is the second time I watched it. So for me, it's like, it's popcorn, it's fluff. It's definitely something you shouldn't think too much about. It's just can be enjoyable. I ended up at 72. Which is better than Adam. Better than me. Okay, a little bit.
Only because Walter White was in it. See, I liked it as Tim Watley was in it, but we all have our favorite Bryan Cranston stuff. I think this movie was probably a lot better in the theater. Probably. It definitely had the action and it probably had a great soundtrack.
I wasn't a fan of the music, to be honest.
Oh, I loved the soundtrack. Oh.
I will say I don't, and not to say he's wrong, because I would never say that, because this is all subjective. I have seen a lot. It doesn't have to do with, I don't think, how close you are to that age, because I've seen tons of teen angst movies. I think Stand By Me is a brilliant movie, for example, but this one, for whatever reason, just didn't work for me.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. That there are movies that, as an adult, this is to reassure people who are maybe in their late 20s or 30s, just because you become over 50, you still kind of remember what it's like to be a teenager.
Quite well.
You do get
better or worse
a little bit.
Yeah, I was a little offended, Richard. I remember it like I was just there, but it's not just
kids. I don't remember.
I think the angst was different. I think the 80s angst was different than the angst today, the early 2000s angst.
Oh, my angst! Let me tell you, when we had angst, my angst had to walk uphill both ways.
Yeah, we didn't have any angst in the 70s.
In the snow.
Our angst didn't have the internet.
No question.
Right. We had no internet. We had no cell phones.
Oh yeah, it's totally different. What kids are dealing with.
We actually went outside and drove cars.
You get virtual.
I feel like the majority of the people who love this film are people who do have those memories from the source material, right? Yes. And it's not that this is a bad movie, but that this movie checks so many of those boxes to sort of like excite you about those things. And when you're seeing it for the first time, it's a lot of very confusing, a lot of very like I don't understand.
Any movie that's based on a beloved whether it's children's cartoons or children's animation or comic books, some of them, like Iron Man, managed to work independent of the source material. They did a good enough job of setting it up as a standalone movie that you don't need to have been an Iron Man comic book fan to love it. I don't think this movie crossed that threshold.
Yeah. And I think Adam makes a good point too. You know, when you take a TV show and you convert it over to film, most of the time it does not work.
Yes.
Star Trek probably set the bar. But even the first Star Trek movie I don't think was that great.
No,
that's when they were using the original cast. That wasn't once they rebooted it with the J.J. Abrams. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it looks like Cody actually has.
Yes, he is ready. He is
video.
ready.
So I'd play the sound, but it's the Harlem.
You get to see what he's about to show. So this is totally worth it. We got that. We got a lot.
Turn it off. This is awful.
And there it is.
There they are.
One of the Power Rangers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but nobody knows it's you. So
I can't believe you got rid of those costumes.
Oh, they were nasty.
As soon as I was done, it was up on like Facebook Marketplace or something.
Oh,
that was what our campus ministry made that.
That's
way
amazing.
back in the day.
Oh yeah, like 6 years.
That was.
You see, now Brittany mentions getting rid of his, but I noticed that Cody has not actually said that he's gotten rid of his.
If it's anywhere that I still have access to it, it's at my parents' house, and I don't care to go get it. But that was from 20. That was
just the fact.
What did you say? 8 years ago? 6 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was 2013. I think I
it
saw
was 2013.
Wow. Well, the good news is, I mean, a totally respectable overall score. It ended up still on our first page.
Ooh,
Right.
wow.
74.29.
It probably won't last on the first page for long.
Well, it all depends on what double
we
feature we end up with. But you know, a decent performance considering it was a movie that sort of, let's say, split the vote. Some people who had great love for this film, some people who didn't get this film. We'll put it that way. But I think that's decent. And again, I don't think, you know, outside of Adam, it doesn't sound like anybody was miserable or like questioning their reasoning for living while they watched this film.
Well, the writers might have been.
Or no, they didn't have to.
They didn't get the movie, so Dave was pretty close.
He did start with
look.
why.
You know, you're going to find that Wade hid the disc under your couch cushion.
Reagan did, yeah.
Well, that is a distinct possibility. Hold on.
There was a pink airplane in that movie. Just saying.
Oh, man. Dang it.
All right. Well, things are about to get very exciting here. Because it is time to get our double feature for next week. So we are going to take a look at the double feature wheel. All right, this goes one of two.
Go for it.
Wow.
I don't know Adam's going to lose, right? You just know Adam's going to lose.
I don't believe there's anybody else in the comments. Everybody else has been quiet. I don't think anybody else. If you are in the comments and you've been waiting and you've never done a double feature with us before and gotten to choose the movies, you've got about 8 seconds to type something in and say, I'm here, put my name on there.
You better give that a good shuffle.
All right, now you heard her, Richard. She asked for the shuffle, so there's your shuffle. I don't know. That might have changed.
It moved 7 degrees to the left.
That's right. So
7 degrees.
Whoever gets to choose, you got to choose 2 movies. They do not need to be related. They can be related. If you choose, you have a grouping, you want to put them together. Otherwise, they can be completely random.
1 and 2.
What was that, Brittany?
I said Breaking Dawn 1 and 2.
I don't think these old farts could handle any more teenage angst.
What?
They can handle teenage angst just fine. It just has to be well written.
Now, wait, I don't think you can jump straight to Breaking Dawn.
No, you need to get through the other.
The other 3, I know. I just
Maybe we should
skipped
do
part one.
grumpy,
I skipped the
grumpy
teenage
old
thing.
men and grumpier old men. Can we get those?
It's the movie where she sits in the chair and the camera just spins around her 26 times for the months of the year that she just pouts in her teenage angst. Okay, I skipped that one for you. You're welcome.
Wow.
Never
Well,
heard
it's time to pick.
Bring us your worst. I made people sit through Sergeant Pepper. I'm prepared for anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So, all right, I think we're doing this. Here we go. Let's find out our double feature for March. The
Oh, look, it looks like they have more spots.
goes to.
Oh!
Wow.
Adam.
Adam.
I
I
would
was
have been
afraid.
so sure that Adam was going to end up with the last choice.
I know.
Congratulations.
Richard, unfortunately, you have to wait another month.
No, it's probably a good thing because you guys really just can't handle any more suffering.
I'm curious. Do you have a plan in mind when you do deliver some suffering?
He did. It'll probably change by next month, but he did.
Okay. Well, you don't have to tell us, unless we'll give Adam a chance to see if he knows. I'm sure Adam has been waiting since I believe we started double features in like June of 2020.
Oh my gosh, I did not expect those.
I did not either. I'm actually pretty excited because we haven't watched Free Guy yet. We really want
Oh, wow.
You'll hear a cheer from downstairs soon.
both movies streaming on Disney Plus. I know that off the top of my head.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
And Wreck-It Ralph, there's a song, Why Don't We Do It Again or whatever by
When Will I See You Again?
When Will I See You Again? It says, when will we do it again? Yeah, that's one of the words. But at the end of the last comedy show we did, that was the song we played as people were leaving because that's when we do this again, and then we haven't since. But
you're still asking the question.
When will we do it again?
And my wife and son
asking the musical question.
They just watched Free Guy in the hotel when they were in Canada.
Wow.
I had the DVD here and took it back to work, because I do that. I bring stuff home and let it sit for 3 months and
don't watch it.
And then
wait
take
for
it
people
back
to
exactly.
really be upset that it's not available.
Yeah, they don't know.
And just so you know, so for April, the wheel is set.
Well, unless
somebody else comes in.
Unless we get somebody else that knew and gotten a chance to
You
choose.
get somebody new, or my mom decides she wants
Your
to pick
mom,
her two
Denise
movies.
could come back. Denise is never picking two movies.
Menza could come back. We haven't seen him in a year.
That's true.
Rick
It's
Burdine
been a
could show
year.
up. No, it hasn't been a year.
I was going to say.
He
Rick
came back for
Burdine.
one movie, then disappeared again.
Yeah, Burdine could show up. You never know.
Wow, Free Guy and Wreck-It Ralph. Free Guy apparently is on HBO Max as well. So,
Well, there you go.
there you go. Has anybody not seen these movies? I'm excited.
I
haven't seen Free Guy yet.
Free Guy.
We were just saying we wanted to watch it, but we haven't sat down to do it yet.
Nice. And we have not done a lot of animated movies.
That is true.
We've only done Arthur's Christmas,
Yeah.
and that might be it.
I think that's it.
And no Tom Hanks. So there's a relief from all the.
Had some animation.
No
Yes.
Bryan Cranston. Yeah, I have 2 5-hour flights before the next show, so I might be able to watch these on the flight.
And there's an
They
extra day.
That's
And
true.
That's right. There's an extra day if you can stay awake.
I'll
On
watch
the
it
flights.
tomorrow during movie time.
Yeah, so there you go. Excellent. That should be fun. Let's talk about what else people have been watching. All right. So obviously, any other entertainment that has caught your eye this week?
I've been watching a lot. SNL last night.
Oh,
I did watch that.
It was funny. John Mulaney's opening thing about how he
Love
turned.
was great.
He goes, "I'm the first drug addict to turn someone into a drug dealer." It's one of the funniest jokes I think I've heard in a long time.
And
I
the
didn't see it
five
coming.
timer skit was excellent.
Although I felt bad, Elliot Gould had trouble getting out of the seat.
He did. And Conan O'Brien had trouble with his lines, but
Yes,
Wow.
and Alec Baldwin couldn't be there.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
It was a great episode.
Not all of it was great, but there was
Mulaney's
some good.
always good when he's on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Megan
so I watched
Mullally
that.
is always good when she's on.
Megan Mullally, yes. Paul Rudd finally. I mean, that's the thing that was funny. Is he didn't get to do his 5-timers club because everybody had COVID that episode,
which is crazy.
What else? Oh, also I've been watching the Severance, which I talked about last time, up to 3 episodes on Apple Plus, and the new Law and Order came back. The old Law and Order came back.
Oh, really?
And I watched that, and it was absolutely horrible.
Oh,
I mean,
that's unfortunate.
There were, a couple actors from when it went off the air in 2010. Apparently, it's been that long that it's been off the air. But yeah, it was. Some of the acting was really bad.
oh no.
I think that they've run out of. Every actor's been on that show at least twice now.
Is
I think they've run out of people.
They bring back Ice-T?
Oh no, he's still on the other one. That's SVU. This is the original one.
Oh,
Anthony Anderson now.
Anthony Anderson, who was on when it
keep
ended, and Sam Watterson is back. He's still the DA.
Like,
He was
wow.
the DA against the end. Jack McCoy. I always loved the other character that played. The character's name was Adam Schiff, no relation to the congressman. And it just seemed like every episode, like, I'm getting a headache. Cut a deal.
See, I never watched the original show. So
wow.
Yeah, I never got into any of the Law and Order.
No.
Oh, actually, it's not true. We watched the Law and Order. What was the one with Vincent D'Onofrio? We watched that for a while.
I liked him.
Criminal
I think
Minds, or
yeah.
It was Law and Order Criminal Intent or something.
Yes.
yeah, it's the one where he did this a lot.
Yeah, because I like D'Onofrio. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
I like him too.
Now, Adam says organized crime has been great, but the problem is it's not. They fired the showrunner. It's getting horrible. The reboot of Law and Order got 2 million more viewers than the organized crime version.
Well, it might be great, but it's not doing well.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they didn't follow the formula. It's always one. They don't do arcs usually. They have maybe an underlying story, but this one is all like you have to keep watching.
Oh, geez.
Well, it's always tough when you change up a formula. I remember there was one out of all of the run of shows. There was one episode of Columbo where they decided to change it up and not tell you up front who did it.
Yeah.
And it was weird to watch because it just wasn't the same show.
And you think you missed the end. You're like, I must have missed the beginning.
Yeah.
Because they always let you know. My mom was watching Inventing Anna. And,
yes. I've seen previews for that.
And I finished the first half of the final season of Ozark, who has the same actress in it that plays Anna. So there's a lot going on. And with my travels next week, I will probably come back with a list of a lot of things I watched. 10 hours on an airplane is going to give me a lot of time to watch stuff. That's all I got, I guess.
Yeah, I watched some old SVU on just regular television channels somewhere on Saturday last week or maybe Monday when I was off, because I get sucked into that sometimes. I only watched 2 though. I had to walk away. It's a little weird.
I've had a couple of those weekends, like you have the Memorial Day weekend, the Labor Day weekend, where they'll do the marathon on A&E, and like you can't stop. Like, let's watch one more. Next thing you know, it's October.
Exactly. Exactly. So I made myself just stop after 2, and because you do get sucked in. It's like a news story almost, but not really. So
you just have to make sure you don't see the beginning. If you can turn the TV off before the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
And Adam is right. I mean, I do think Organized Crime's a great show. Don't get me wrong. I agree with Adam on that. It's just they're going to make some changes.
Flopping.
And the Twinder Swindler, I have not seen that yet.
I haven't seen that. Well, I started looking for something on just to watch, just to have on, and because I can never find anything that I really want to get into. And I was on Hulu and I found Blossom with my Bialik.
There it is.
Yeah.
A very special episode.
You know what? They are, they do have that thing going for them. But you know what? They were really not as cheesy as I expected them to be. And Reagan watched a few with me, and she thought that they were okayly done. They were done okay.
Okayly.
Okayly.
That's all they talk about.
But it was cute. And then she does a show now called Call Me Kat that is based on a British show that we watched, and it was a train wreck and hilarious. So I thought, well, I'll watch this again. We started to watch it the first season. So the only season that's on Hulu now is second season. So I watched like 6 episodes of Blossom over a couple of days, and then I turn on Call Me Kat, and there's Joey Lawrence and Six and her brother Michael Soyanoff, who played her brother, her oldest brother, sitting in her little cafe. She has a cat cafe. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you guys were my favorite show when I was growing up." It was cute. So I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." So that's what I watched this week: Blossom and 1 episode of Call Me Kat.
Nice.
I watched Role Models.
That's a good one.
With Paul. Is it Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott? Yep. Watch that one. We've watched. We started to watch A Kid in King Arthur's Court. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I've never seen it. Richard was like, "You have to watch this movie. It's amazing." And then he was falling asleep, so we didn't finish it.
Exactly.
We started it.
Exactly. I know that feeling.
Watched Avatar.
Oh.
The blue one, not the Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
So we're clear.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yes.
Well, you never know anymore.
I didn't know there was a difference.
The blue one.
There is a difference.
There is.
I thought they were related.
We've mostly been watching a lot of Twitch streams. Cody streams. We've been watching Cody when he streams. We have another friend from Iowa who's been streaming a lot of Rocket
I'm
League
always at work. I'm always
so.
at work when Cody streams. I get notifications, but I'm like, I'm driving or I'm at work.
I'm gonna start streaming, so I've been watching people to kind of get like some ideas. And yeah, I know you were feeding a newborn at 12:30 a.m. You were doing great. It was early, it was late, whatever time it was. So I've been watching for like ideas and stuff. I watched it. We actually sat and through like an hour-long webinar of somebody telling you how to have a successful stream. So
nice.
Not that exciting. Very insightful, but not exciting.
Speaking of Paul Rudd, did anyone ever watch a few years ago? He had a 1-season series that I don't think has ever been officially canceled, but it hasn't come back for a second season. Living with Yourself.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't watch that.
That was an odd show, but it was actually quite good.
It was about clones, right?
Well, you don't want to give away stuff, but sure. I know, it's been out years. He plays 2 different characters on the show.
That's the one that Tom Brady was on.
That was when Tom Brady made a cameo on, exactly. And got some hot water over it, because that was when he was still with the Patriots.
Yeah.
And he was coming out of a massage parlor.
All the teenage angst has put Richard to sleep. So I'm sorry. I watched this has been on Netflix for a little while, but I finally watched Gunpowder Milkshake. Has anybody watched Gunpowder Milkshake? It's
is that like vanilla pizza or licorice pizza?
Like that. It's Karen Gillian. It's a bunch of people killing each other. So
is that Paul Giamatti?
Yes, that is Paul Giamatti.
He's in everything.
He is in everything,
and he's good in everything.
He's amazing.
And so I think I believe I mentioned that I'm working on making a replica of the truck from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and so I've been huffing paint while working on that project a little bit. Here's a quick picture.
I think that
I've got this disassembled, and
I think this explains the naming in the Ohio and all the other problems.
Breathing fumes.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot.
The wrong week to stop sniffing paint.
That makes me want to work on we bought the 67 Impala from Supernatural, the black one.
Oh, cool.
Baby. We bought that one. We haven't put it together yet, so we got to do that.
Nice. Yeah, this will be interesting. I think this might have been a little more ambitious than I was ready for, but so far it's like every day I discover additional parts that will come apart from each other. So, like,
that's the full teardown, huh?
Yeah. So it's been a complete teardown. Be interested to see if I can figure out how to put it back.
That's why you should take a video of yourself disassembling it, so you can then figure out.
Literally like, oh no, those windshield wipers, those are really in there. I'm not getting those out. How am I going to tape them down? And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to tape those down. I got to figure out a way to get those out of there. And so 2 hours later, the windshield wipers are off.
Well, if you watch Clutch Radio 2 weeks ago, we were in a Toyota that was very loud. And this week we did a rerun because it was Rafi's birthday weekend. But the Toyota was very loud. And I was like, wonder what's causing this. And where did it go? Why can I not see this? That's weird. Let's see if it shows the right. No, it's not going to show it. Hold on. I have to pull this up differently, I guess. Oh, there it is. I have to open with preview. There we go.
Oh, wow.
So it's amazing when you have these little simple things in life where you're like, I'm going to go look and figure out why it was so loud. That's the exhaust manifold right there. It's missing a nut.
Ooh.
So I put on a nut and a washer. I tightened it. I put a little stuff in there. Cost $3.
Oh my God.
It's quiet now.
Oh my
a simple
God.
fix.
And how much would that have cost had you taken it to a professional?
Minimum $100.
Oh, probably $400.
Just the inspection fee. Yeah.
Yeah, because before they would have to put up on the lift, and they'd probably find other problems. And I'm like, I just want it to be quieter.
Yeah.
Because I can see there might be a little oil leaking up here. I mean, there's some other issues, I'm sure. And maybe this nut is not turned proper. Who knows? I didn't torque it. It's really hard to get to the nut though. Like I hand tightened it, and then I was able to get a socket down there, but it's very hard to get to. So there's probably things they would have taken off to do that job. So it probably would have been, I bet, $300 or $400.
Would have been easier on a lift?
Maybe.
Where it's placed.
Yeah, I went from above instead of from below.
Yeah.
Well, make sure
even below would have been hard.
Make sure you tune into Clutch Radio if you do want to see Dan twerk it.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Torque, not twerk.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
They're so close.
I get so confused.
And here's my twerk wrench.
And I don't even know what the specs would be for the torquing. So, or the
you can
torquing.
find them though. For what year was that?
93 Toyota 4Runner.
Yeah, you can find those specs online.
It's a 2-runner right now. That's the next thing, to figure out how to get the 4-wheel drive to work. I think it's a vacuum leak, but we'll find out. All right. Oh, that's a lull.
A little bit.
The Olympics are over.
Olympics are over. There's a war in Europe.
There's Olympics?
You watch them.
What's the highest? What's the highest rated movie on the list?
What was that?
What's the highest rated movie on our list right now?
Is it Iron Man?
Forrest
Gump.
96.7.
Forrest Gump coming in at a 96.70.
Anything 90 or up is really, really everybody loved.
That's fine. I'm just checking for
There's only 10 movies with a 90 or above.
for some personal yeah.
Trying to judge what this crowd likes.
No, I'm trying to figure out how easy it would be to pick a movie that none of you watch because you just can't sit through it, and then we just rate it 97, and then it's automatic. Like,
don't do that.
I mean, honestly, the funny thing is one person or even two people, you only skew the votes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it is hard to game the system because
although we had 4 people that didn't watch the movie this week.
Yeah.
3 riders and my mom.
That's kind of what we're getting at is like,
well, he was
you
like,
don't have to watch the movie. So if you don't watch it, but then other people rate it really high.
Well, you can add anyone can add their vote to it later on too, as long as they want.
Yeah, within the week.
And really, only the movies that they did really early on had only a handful of votes. Really, I would say certainly for the last year, there have been consistently at least probably 6 plus votes on each movie.
Which explains some of the movies that may be ranked a little higher or lower.
Yeah.
UHF.
No, we were just talking about
belongs, pretty further down than it is.
we were just talking about The Conjuring again. And I was like, well, Eric won't watch that. So like,
I would probably watch it.
I think Wade and Stacy didn't want to watch it.
Yeah, there was
Well, I'd watch it.
See, like, there's so many people that wouldn't watch it.
Like,
if you could suggest a movie,
like, hands down, those are really good movies.
So you can say if you could suggest a movie that everybody would just never watch,
right?
And then you would be the only 2 who saw it. I see what you're going.
We're rigging the system.
I understand, but I'll be honest. I've sat through the world's worst movies, so I think you would be hard pressed to come up with a movie that I would not sit through.
Yeah,
I've never skipped the movie yet.
That's good.
No.
The only reason we skipped this one is because we couldn't get it.
Well, yeah, you couldn't get a copy. That's different.
I think there was another one I did. There was like ones that I didn't watch, and
There have only been a couple that Eric has come in and gone that he was angry at the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Yes. Yeah, I've had movies that I've been, but again, I
Take
mean,
the Money and Run was one. I
I've
know.
shared this story before about my son's insane Titanic movie that was only streaming on YouTube.
I would
That
just
is-
like to add that Adam, I definitely would watch Freddy Got Fingered because raunchy comedies is like a secret guilty pleasure of mine. Like Grandma's Boy, love that movie. Just saying.
I can watch raunchy comedies, but Freddy Got Fingered is just no.
Richard, what are your thoughts of Super Troopers?
I love Super Troopers.
See,
That's
I
probably
think-
one of
I
my
think
most-
they've
Yeah, you and Adam then are on the same
Adam-
page.
I can't tell you how many times me and my friends tried to chug a bottle of maple syrup.
Oh, I did that. I did that at the breakfast place in Erie and threw up, and it was the worst experience of my life because it came out the same way it is.
Oh, it's delicious then.
And, no, sticky, and it was not one. It would just kept coming. Like it just.
You can stop now.
See, I think Adam and Richard,
Grandma's Boy, so
there's a
good.
bromance going on here.
Uh-oh.
Wait,
So, Cody, did you
Kindred
grow up
spirits.
in the breakfast place?
Right outside.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Right, like I had to go. Oh, that was.
But
bad.
did it come out nice and slow?
We should watch the Beck's
Yes,
Breakfast
which was
Club.
the problem because I had to sit there with my mouth open the whole time waiting.
Were people calling you Aunt Jemima, or what was happening? Or Mrs. Butterworth, I mean.
First the Adam Butter came out.
Yeah, Aunt Jemima's, she's not a thing anymore. She's gone.
No.
Right. Mills Foods. No, but it would have been Mrs. Butterworth.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh,
This is the Titanic, the animated movie. The legend goes on.
Oh, my gosh.
If you're looking for a movie, this is on YouTube, so it's free.
I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes. We'll be busting up laughing because it's party time.
And the movie is not about these animals. This is just a little side story that goes on before you actually get to the Titanic.
Well, he's huge.
Oh yeah, there's some problems. There's a lot of problems.
I bet there's
reminded me of Paula Abdul's video.
Yeah, a little bit. There was a little. You're right. MC Scat Cat. There was a little opposite attract happening in there.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's bad. It's problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I will sit through almost anything, whether I will enjoy it.
It's another story. Right?
Whether he'll be mad at you afterwards.
Oh yeah, it's very possible.
American Pie.
I get mad at the person. I get mad at the filmmakers sometimes.
That would have probably been me if Dave's movie Ted had come up before
So you've
he
seen
said,
Ted?
"What?
You've seen Ted?
No, I've heard enough about it to go, no."
So you're making judgment on something.
I am. I judge my books on their covers. I judge my movies on their reviews. And whatever.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Stacey, can I ask why you wouldn't watch The Conjuring?
It just sounds creepy, scary. That's why.
I mean, it is creepy, scary, and it'll probably give you nightmares for weeks.
And that's
but it's
why.
so good.
Yeah.
As
See,
a
that's
person who does not like horror movies,
me.
It's true.
I hate horror movies, and he's like, they're my favorite genre. I have to watch horror movies all the time. And I'm like, nope, we're not doing it. He's like, please just watch this one. It's my favorite one. This one, I'll never ask you to watch another one. And I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I watched it like this the whole time. I mean, like this is how I watch horror movies. But it was good.
I'm
really
done with
good.
that. You know, I don't care to watch those. I've done it before, like this in a movie theater with my jacket over my head.
Yep, that's.
And I just refuse to do that anymore. I'm a grown up and I don't have to anymore.
Very good. It is very good, and we do encourage people that if there's something that you know is going to make you.
Right.
I would say probably the limit I would have is I would probably not watch the Saw movies.
No.
Oh, I love those movies. Not even because of the gore, the story and plot of those movies.
I can't.
So
no.
good.
I wrote a blog post about it, but I don't own any of
Oh, every movie has a plot twist, and it always catches me.
I would rather watch Super Troopers again.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch Take the Money and Run again?
Oh, 100 times over. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I did no. That to me is that might no. I'm just gonna pass.
You just made me want to watch them again. I'm not gonna put them on.
No. I watched them to impress a boyfriend. Had a really bad dream. Wrote a blog post about it. We'll never watch him again.
Exactly.
No, an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, I really don't want to write.
I think you do the stupidest movies ever.
We try to be lighthearted for the most part.
Yeah.
We've done some dramas. We've done some, but we've not.
You should see our list keeps growing, dude. I don't know.
We started this only comedy.
We'll get to them next year.
Oh yeah, for the first like 6-8 months, it was all comedies. It was nothing but comedy. We were in the middle of a global pandemic.
Yeah.
We need to laugh.
Not that we're still not in a global pandemic, but we were like in the middle of it. Like we were in the height of everybody being sort of depressed and looking for something to do. And so
we had a much different viewership back then.
Yeah. Oh,
did you
absolutely.
guys ever see Joyful Noise with Queen Latifah and Dolly Parton?
So good.
No, but it sounds
no.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good one, but that was one that I was thinking a lot about while we were watching Power Rangers, because Queen Latifah's son, I think, has Asperger's, and so his character is very similar to Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to a quarry, this big old mine, and it's a musical, so he's singing.
And they find a spaceship underground. It's really
they don't find a spaceship, but he kicks somebody. It's a good one.
Yeah, I've been working on a list as well, but and it's too easy to come up with a huge list.
I know it's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem because you'll never get here. I'll even give a sneak peek.
Whoa! Hey, a couple of those are on ours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is an alphabetical order. We should alphabetize ours.
Months. You could have a month. You could have a month of.
That one's on ours. Mm-hmm. This one you have on there.
Okay, how about that?
Oh yeah, there's a lot on there that I didn't even think of.
Harold and Kumar go to
We
White
need to put
Valentine's Day.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I've never seen that one. But I was thinking next year for Valentine's Day, maybe we'll see. And Taylor
You're really
Swift.
getting ahead.
So yeah, see, there's when I alphabetized it so that if I think of something new, I can make sure I don't inadvertently put it on the list twice.
Is the Mr. and Mrs. Smith the original Alfred Hitchcock? Or are you talking about the Angelina Jolie later?
Talking about the Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt movie.
Yeah.
Good one.
Which I enjoy that movie. I do enjoy.
What's one that
I like. Yeah, there's only a handful I haven't seen on here that I.
Wait, put your list back up. I had a question about something on there, and I don't remember what it was because there was too many movies.
Because I do have.
Brain is like on overload.
I do have some obscure movies on here. There's a lot of mainstream movies on here because I think it would be eventually fun to do Indiana Jones or
Deadpool. Did you guys watch Once Upon a Deadpool?
Oh yes, that's the first way we saw Deadpool 2.
That's the first way I watched it too, and it was so good.
It's so good.
We didn't watch that on here, did we?
No.
Oh man, Mystery Men.
I know that one's not good, but I'm definitely that one I have an affinity for.
And what is Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes, the Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, you have Sherlock Holmes on there.
Oh, did I really? Oh yeah, sorry about that. Man, always
is that like a on HGTV or something?
Yes, right. Yes. Holmes on Sherlock Holmes. There you go.
Searching for good deals.
So there you go. Yeah.
Wow.
So kind of fun, just but again, just to try to get things off of my head, put them onto the, some would be fun. I
enjoyed the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. The only trouble is that was around the same time Benedict Cumberbatch was coming out with Sherlock, which was just so brilliant.
Oh yeah,
it's sort of,
especially by the time Robert Downey Jr. did 2. By the time the sequel for Sherlock Holmes came out, no, the sequel to me that doesn't hold up.
Yeah,
but the first one, and I do love Sherlock Holmes,
and I like Jude Law
in general.
Hey Jude,
make a sound.
Blah 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 blah.
Really?
Hey dude.
Hey dude.
Did you guys see the meme? Oh, now I have to find the Sherlock Holmes meme. I can't remember. Hold on, I gotta see if I can find it. Anyways, it was really good. It's got Benedict Cumberbatch on it and like RDJ, and then it's got them from all the different things that they're in, like Strange, like No, and it's got Smog, and it just I know what I'm talking about, and I can't find it. Yeah, that was good. I know.
I never tried watching the Enola Holmes series on
Netflix. It's not unwatchable.
It wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was watchable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's. I'm not like, oh, I can't wait until they come out with. It's like,
It was something to watch, and it wasn't.
yeah, it's definitely something to watch.
That's the
I can never
tagline.
find, I
It
can
was
never
something
find
to watch.
anything. I can never find anything. So
This
I think
one.
for stuff I've seen before.
Wait, let me see if you can. Oh, I'll just send it to Eric.
Yeah, that's the best way.
I know. I'm just gonna hold it to the camera, and you guys are gonna be like, "What?"
What?
The first 2 seasons of Sherlock, though, when Cumberbatch really just sort of blew onto the scene. That was brilliant. It got a little old in the 3rd season, but the first 2 were brilliant.
Well, I think the big issue was that this was where he was getting so popular so fast that the delays in between the seasons.
Yeah, well, that's more British television too. They don't have these 24 episode seasons. They have 6 or 5 or 8 at most.
Yes.
And then you have another year until you get any episodes, or a year and a half.
See, and then you become sort of like, well, what was going on? So unless you're going to go back and rewatch or take notes as to what you were watching originally, right? I think that's a problem. And so I'd like to do a rewatch of that series and see.
I mean, and Martin Freeman too is excellent. Man. It was just such good casting.
Oh yeah.
Richard just stuck his head in to say the joke that they made in Yesterday about Benedict Cumberbatch becoming a sex symbol in Britain.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm. No Doctor Strange.
That's it. Every time I see that, I crack up. There's so much crossover and all the things.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. And also, Brittany shared this one the other day. Oh, look at Katie and Brittany.
And now it's Coder.
Coder.
No.
Oh man, isn't that a Paul Simon song?
Coder Crowe?
Even he can't get his name right, Eric. So you don't have to feel bad.
I got confused when he said Corey, so I was like, Coder?
Coder? See, I just, it's what I do.
Wade does that too. He'll get your name almost right.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's like a comedy thing.
Do you, Stosie, take this man?
No, that would be Stade.
Stayed, yes. Good old
Eric.
Stayed.
That's Eric's fault. But
not right.
It's not right. Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, I've seen Free
Yeah,
Guy
usually
twice
if I have
now.
it written down, I can get it right. So for weddings, I write their names down, so I make sure I get them right.
That's a good thing. As long as you can read your own writing.
Yeah.
I did have a boss once who had trouble reading his own writing. So we got to the end of a meeting and he looks up at the whiteboard and says, "What does that say?" And none of us could tell him.
Oh, no.
Or you could have made something up. It says you're giving us a raise of, it looks like 7%.
He didn't have that power. It was too big a company for him to have.
Sign of a great leader. Somebody write that all down and figure out what I was talking about.
Yeah, take a picture of that and see if we can figure it out later.
Leadership. Yeah. Amazing. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to share for the good of the order?
Good of the order.
Nope.
Just a reminder, Tuesday, 15% off. Taylor says, get your 15% off of your EriDan swag. And what, Free Guy and Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So, HBO Max.
I was saying to Margaret just today, I've gradually gotten a feel for what people's movies tend to be. I mean, I don't know Brittany as well yet, obviously, but Adam is the one that I cannot predict.
Yes,
it's true.
I agree.
Wild card.
He is. Adam the wild card.
I don't know. I'm still very happy that Brittany brought Love and Monsters.
Oh yeah, Love and Monsters was a real find. That was
honestly.
It was
What was the other movie in your double feature? I don't remember.
The Ringer.
Ringer?
Oh, The Ringer.
He repressed it. That was a rough.
So,
although I have to say, The Ringer was not as bad as I thought, which I know I said that night.
It wasn't as bad as we thought it would be going in. That's the best thing.
My expectations were so low.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We're so excited, and we will
See you in 8 days.
Monday night, because this is going to get wacky a little bit through June. So please check your local listings. The EriDan Facebook page is 90% correct usually. So check on there. We'll have some updates. Also, Dan and I post funny stuff there during the week, so don't miss
Tune
out.
into your local news to see if there's a crawl along the bottom saying EriDan has been delayed by.
Absolutely right. Right after the school closings.
Yeah, there could be a little crawl like this.
Oh. Wow, look at this.
Man, on the ball, Dan.
Wow.
Breaking news.
Well then.
All right, we'll see you Monday.
Monday.
Thank you. Great
Monday.
show. See you guys. Bye.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.